Hey guys, welcome to Tea Time with Ayek. We don't always drink tea, but honey, we spill tea. My name is Ayek, and if you're new, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. Talk about all things lifestyle, food, religion, politics, current events from the Nigerian perspective, or Nigerian American perspective, if you will. And I'm tired. I'm like 2 seconds away from ripping this thing off. So I'm going to unwind with you guys and we're going to talk about what the heck is going on in the news right now. It's not a good week in the news for white men. Oh, it's never a good week in the news for white men, let's be honest. It's not a good week in the news for some Nigerian men and some white women. So let's get right into it. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. Please, I said please. Please subscribe to my channel. And while you're subscribing, I'm gonna go get the wipes to do the preliminary washing of my face or wiping of my face, and then we're gonna talk about what's been going on. So I'm gonna go get the wipes and you're gonna subscribe right now. No, I'm just joking. Why am I acting this way? Okay, I'm gonna get the wipes and you're gonna subscribe. And I'm gonna love you, okay? And yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so you've subscribed, right? You did. Thank you. I'm sorry in advance for whomever this is going to offend. But honey, I have to take off this wig. Like, I'm sorry. I have to take off this $39.99 beauty supply wig. Ow. Whoa. So I'm using these easy cleansing baby wipes. Don't know who makes them, but I got them at my local pharmacy. So first and foremost, I really want to talk about this Naira Marley situation. So if you don't know who Naira Marley is, he is most popularly known for his song It's a Goal. I mean, it was our theme song for the 15-20 minutes that Nigeria was in the World Cup. Okay, that was just a joke. Theme song, it was a good song. I mean, it brought people together. And it was a good song. I mean, I really like the song. So to be honest with you, I didn't know he was the one who sang it until this situation came up. So a few weeks ago, he spoke out about the criticism that people involved in the Yahoo business get. And if you're not familiar with Yahoo is essentially internet fraud. So anyway, he was saying that Yahoo, first of all, internet fraud is a business. Yes, Yahoo is a business in his opinion. And also he was saying, well, we're getting back at white people for slavery. So we're even. So on one end, I see his point. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of see his point. But the truth is that the average Yahoo boy, Yahoo man, Yahoo woman, Yahoo girl, they're not thinking like, okay, the only people I'm gonna scam are white people, are people from the former British Empire and the former Portuguese Empire. No, they're scamming anyone that they can scam. So while that was a cute little twist by Naira Marley, it's not accurate of what's going on with the average Yahoo person. I mean, it's much easier to extort your next door neighbor than like extorting someone abroad. Well, in most cases, let me not say in all cases, but in most cases it's easier. Like, it's easier to scam someone in your family than scam someone that lives in Tuscaloosa or something like that. But even if we did want reparations, that's not the way to go about it, because the truth is that Yahoo business ruins lives. So Rugged Man, a very attractive, controversial but attractive artist, came out and told Naira Marley that he's wrong. Like, and it's truly he's wrong, because it's like, that's not the way to get back what was taken from us. I mean, there are other ways, and it's illegal. It's against the law. Internet fraud is illegal in Nigeria. It's illegal in so many countries. So a few days ago, EFCC, which is the corporation, of course, that deals with, what does EFCC stand for? Okay, so the EFCC, which is the Economic, I'm reading it from here, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. We just know it as EFCC, so I never really thought to figure out what it meant until now, but it is the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Those are the people that look into corruption, specifically in terms of money laundering, Yahoo business, or Yahoo, whatever, internet fraud, extortion, and things like that. So the EFCC has apparently been doing an investigation because Naira Marley, after making those statements, made some other problematic statements. They investigated him. They eventually arrested him and Zlatan and a few other people who were suspected to be a part of an internet fraud ring. Zlatan was eventually released, and a few other people were eventually released, except for Naira Marley. And basically, he has 11 charges, from credit card fraud to fake. What him and his crew or group of Yahoo crew would do was generate fake card numbers, very similar to what Dami Crane did in the US. Generate fake cards and try to do transactions online with them and stuff. So he's facing 11 charges. So while this is happening, him and Zlatan came out with a song called Am I a Yahoo Boy? And that didn't make things any easier for them. On one end, I feel like initially his statements may have been to publicize his song, but he was not as careful as he should have been. Well, let me not say careful. He was not sensible. And he's being charged with, he has 11 charges against him. So people have been, coming out, speaking in his defense. Sadly, a lot of people came in his defense, saying that first and foremost, Yahoo is a business. He's making money. The Yahoo lifestyle, they say that, well, they're making money, blah, blah, blah. Without taking into account that the Yahoo business ruins lives every day. And these days that people are doing Yahoo Plus, God forbid, but it could be anybody that they use. Even you that are saying, yes, Yahoo business is what's popping. They could use you for sacrifice to remain successful in their given field of fraud. So that's what a lot of people were saying. They're like, especially, and people brought up some other valid points here. Like, look at the economic situation in Nigeria. People don't have any options. So they're, moving to organized crime. While that, I understand where they're coming from, but it's still a crime. At the very least, even if you don't want to take a moral approach, it's still illegal. So it's wrong. So this is really what I think. I think first and foremost that people are doing anything to trend these days, and I think that Naira Marley was trying to trend. And to be honest with you, like, EFCC has its challenges as well. So I don't really know even how the investigation took place. I don't know if they were looking into him before or after the statement was made. So Naira Marley, he committed a crime. He should be going to jail. I personally do not agree with the Yahoo business. I do not agree with the Yahoo lifestyle. The place that I live, I would say in the entire neighborhood, like 80% of the people in this neighborhood are doing Yahoo. I mean, you're like a 19-year-old guy and you drive an S-Class Mercedes and it's not your daddy's car. And this may sound mean, but I'm just being honest. It's obviously not your dad's car. Like, it's not one of those situations where your dad bought it for you. It's very obvious. So yeah, it's very popular here and it's weird. I know that we had some neighbors, let me not spill too much tea, but we had some neighbors who they were like probably between the ages of like 17 and 21. Then they had somebody who was older who would like come in and check on them. And they were living here, everything was cool, blah, blah, blah. Then one day, the blinds were gone from their house and stuff. And it wasn't like the way we do rent here is you pay rent for a year. So it wasn't like they had done a year. It was like one day they randomly moved in, and then 6 months later they were gone. I mean, we all have heard of cases, or you may not have heard of cases, but a lot of people, and we've heard of cases of people moving their babas to apartments even within this estate or within this neighborhood or within this area, so that they can quickly get to them when they need to get whatever charm they need to be successful in their Yahoo activities. I do not believe that most people are still only just doing Yahoo. I believe most people are also doing Yahoo Plus. I think that Naira Marley probably just only does Yahoo. That's why he got caught, to be honest. Let's be real. My dear brothers and sisters, it's not a game out here. I personally, like I said, I'm not with it. I don't support it. I don't endorse it. It ruins lives. There are other ways for us to get our, I don't want to say respect, because we don't have to present a certain image to the West, but there's other ways for us to regain our honor, and it's working on us, working on our country as members of this country. Let's talk about some problematic statements that were said by career gate man, Imam Bishop. Also, I mean, people really only know him as Okon because he's made a career out of being a gate man, a domestic staff, not somebody to be taken seriously. Okay, I'm already throwing shade before we even start talking about it. Okay, before I get into him, okay, I'm going to cleanse my face because I'm going to be doing a mask today. Ugh. Ouch! Hey, Jesus. And I'm going to be using the wonderful Cocoa and Coffee Energizing Face Mask by Ajali. If you haven't seen my review on this, I'm going to put it up there for you to check it out. But first, let me cleanse my face. You guys already know what cleanser I use, the L'Oreal Detox Clay Mask thing. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to be right back. 3 or so weeks ago, there was a police raid on a club in Abuja, where alleged sex workers were arrested. And not only were they arrested, but in order for them to be granted bail, they had two options: pay 5,000 Naira or have sex with the police officers. And once again, this is a trigger warning. Most of them were not, they didn't have any actual charges. They weren't booked. They were just round up in a club. Just the ladies, just the 70 alleged sex workers were rounded up and tossed into a prison. It's just a complex issue, and Abuja generally is known apparently for that issue. Someone had posted on Instagram, had reposted from a friend. She said that her and her group of friends were coming out of a restaurant, and then two sex workers ran up to them and said, "Please, can you just pretend that we're your friends, because these police officers have been harassing us." So here's the thing: they're harassing you allegedly or claiming to be upholding the law, but really they're just trying to exploit them. Complete I don't even know what the word is. Complete disregard for their human rights. Complete disregard. Disgusting. Generally. Now, of course, there were some people that had some things to say, you know, oh, well, they are whores anyway, blah, 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 whatever. But generally, the consensus was that was disgusting and horrible. Well, Mr. Ime Bishop, irrelevant in every capacity, came out and did a video basically saying that we can't say that those police officers raped those women, those sex workers, or prostitutes, as people like to say. We can't say that the police officers raped those sex workers because it's not rape because they're sex workers, but he said they're prostitutes. It's called stealing, it's not rape, because they don't have any dignity anyway. Whether it was a joke or not, it's nonsense. And like I said, we won't put too much time into it, but people were outraged. I was as well. I reposted on my Instagram and said, guys, report this video. A lot of people were outraged, and he was responding to the comments justifying his joke or his statement. I can tell you that for most people, especially those kinds of comedians, what they're saying as a joke is actually their mentality, because he's older. You know, he has less to lose. You know how elders feel about themselves, and he's an elder. Come on, crusty old man who doesn't have much to do. So he made that statement, justified the statement, and did a follow-up video. But I think what was most terrifying were the comments. There were a lot of people were like, "Listen, there's something wrong with you. You're horrible." But then some people thought it was funny. Some people agreed with him. Like in the case that he was actually being serious, there are quite a few people who were like, "Yeah, Bruce, you make sense. It's making sense." There's some things that should not be joked about. And the most disgusting thing is that he justified it. So I don't think it was a joke. You know, people these days will do anything to trend. And like I told you guys a few minutes ago, he's a career gate man. Like, first of all, he's a terrible representation of Akwa Ibom State. He's a terrible representation of my state. Because first and foremost, he's perpetuating silly stereotypes that we can only be domestic staff. And yeah, I'm not looking down on anyone that's a domestic staff worker or whatever, but it perpetuates that. He's just annoying. But I think what terrified me most were people who were supporting him. And I'm not going to say it was only men supporting him. It was a couple of women there too. Just say you hate women and move on. Like, just say you dislike women and you want to be supported in your misogyny and move on. Don't save all the extra stuff. So of course he did a follow-up video and everybody told him what they said. Like, they repeated what they said in the first video. Most people, they're like, there's something wrong with you. He's made that decision to be silly and not use his platform for positive things. And I'm gonna rub this. I don't think I put enough. Yo, I'm not getting these proportions right when it comes to this mask, but oh well. So yeah, something ain't adding up. This mask is not doing what I wanted to do. So I guess that was him trying to regain some relevance. I don't know, but it was disgusting. Like I said, him doing that, whatever, but it was people's commentary in support of him that kind of creeped me out, and it went to show my concern about a certain demographic here. Because misogyny is welcome in our society, like it's supported, it's very easy for them to feel comfortable making those kinds of statements and them not being willing to see why their statements are problematic, and they don't even take into consideration the implications of those statements. With those kinds of statements, whether we like it or not, there are implications. People feel an entitlement to women's bodies in general, but I think sex workers, I've noticed, based on the way that people talk and even seeing the way that they interact with them, like, I mean, if you live in Lekki, then you know where I'm talking about, Lekki Phase 1, then they just feel like they're public property, like a bench or something, and it's disgusting. So yeah. Okay, so in other news, let's move over to Alabama in the United States. Unless you've been living under a rock, then you know that recently Alabama passed an anti-abortion bill that essentially, not even essentially, it criminalizes abortion. So I was going through Twitter and a lot of people keep reposting this picture of these white guys who are the leadership in Alabama, and they basically saying, how can you have a table full of men or a group full of men making the decisions for women's bodies? Yeah, so that picture was valid because truly, like, how can you have a group of white guys trying to make decisions for women's bodies? But this is this is what I'm taking issue with. The person who signed the bill into law is a woman. The governor of Alabama, her name is Kay Ivey, is a woman. Even when she was signing the bill, she tweeted about it and she mentioned things about God and things like that. And first and foremost, in the United States, the law is very simple. It's in the Constitution. Separation of church and state. So I don't even know how God came into this. And girl, if you want to talk about God, sweetie, you're going to have to work on your state. You're going to have to work on your race relations. You're going to have to work on the situation with the infrastructure in your state. That would be doing God's will, doing right by the people. Okay, guys, so I'm going to keep this on for 15 minutes. And I'm going to be right back. I know you're laughing at my hair. I know that you're laughing at my cornrows. And when my mom watches this, she's gonna laugh too, because she's come for my hair so hard. But guys, it's a long story, okay? So let's give this 15 minutes and I'll be right back. Hey guys, so okay, I'm not gonna lie. After I washed off my face mask and I said, let me just rest my eyes for a few minutes, I woke up and it was time to get ready for church. So I'm sorry I wasn't able to close out this video properly, but I hope you enjoyed my unfiltered, unedited opinion. Please feel free to like this video and comment and subscribe and every other good thing, and I will see you in my next video. Next week we are going to an authentic Jamaican restaurant, so I think you're gonna like it. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Love you always. Bye.